creature you truly have to see to believe. The thorny devil is like a living sculpture, and some rumors say it is so sharp it can actually draw blood when you try to catch it.
CPU
so if we're lucky
right
enough,
today.
we're gonna put those
Okay,
rumors to the
I
test.
see.
Let's get searching.
It's gonna be a
Parts
good
of this
game today,
video
bro.
are sponsored by BetterHelp. They live exclusively on a diet of ants. Because of that need, if you find an ant mound or an ant line, there's a good chance there's a thorny devil somewhere in the vicinity.
My dog's
so
been
we
like
can then
super
create a
tired
perimeter
today.
and start really scanning the area. These
He's
are
been laying down all
masters
day.
of camouflage in this environment, so
Hope he's
you
okay.
really need to narrow it down to a sweet spot. So sharp. Ah. This is definitely
This dude gotta get paid a lot,
devil
bro.
habitat. Everything
Just to get
out here
bitten by
spiky.
animals. And where do you find a spot like
Especially this
this?
plant right here. This is like little razor blade leaves. Gotta keep an eye out for that one as we search for this creature.
Does she wanna leave? I'll let the girl
Here we
leave.
go. This is a good indication. You see that line in the sand right there? That's an ant track. You can actually see a few tiny, tiny ants making their way back to their nest. But this is great, guys. We've got the sandy environment. We found the food. Now it's time to find the devil itself. What I'm looking for now are either foot tracks or the outline. It has a very distinct
Shout out Brandon
contrast
Bills, man.
with
We
the
got
rest
some
of the
shit coming soon
environment,
too.
the outline
Seen
of the
that
tail
logo
and the horns
on the side of
on the
that.
front. And that's what I'm gonna be scanning for along the ridges and along the bush lines. Luckily, the thorny devil is not very fast. You can see why you have to be such a specialized animal to call this your
Things
home.
that move like super slow,
would
they
not do very
bite
well.
extra hard.
Living out here.
Like they got to. Like that, they gotta bite like super hard.
I see one. Got one. We got a devil. Oh, yes. Yes.
He just picks it straight
We
up.
got one.
He picks
Oh,
it straight up,
man.
bro.
This is the coolest lizard on the planet, guys. Oh my gosh. I am so excited right now.
I wouldn't even
cannot
hold that
believe
motherfucker.
we found a thorny devil. Look at how cool this little dragon is. This is one of the top
wouldn't even hold that
targets
motherfucker.
out here. And unlike their cousins in America and Mexico, the horned lizards, these guys are actually super spiky. And you see it puffing up its body and pushing those spines out. That is one of its defense mechanisms. And I could tell you that if you were to grab onto this thorny devil without knowing that it was sharp, you would get a handful of spikes. Look at how cryptic the color patterning is.
Like they're so
This
small, they
animal
won't
is
like you
superior
can't take
at
them out.
camouflage in this environment. From the sand that's demonstrated in its arms to the foliage and the yellow leaf litter, this animal is perfectly designed for this habitat. You can see that I'm not really doing much to keep the animal here with us. They're very docile and slow moving. In fact, they use their tail as a balance to step forward. They're almost like a chameleon, and they'll do very cautious steps.
Oh.
So look at that, just in a matter of minutes.
So that's
from
their
presenting this animal,
cousin, I think?
it's already changed its
their
color
cousin?
to a much more vibrant yellow on the back. And that's probably because the sun is really starting to come out today.
Or is mad.
And like most lizards, it is ectothermic. The more heat it absorbs in its body, the more energy it's going to have. And it certainly has earned its name, the thorny devil. It is extraordinarily sharp and spiny. And it is covered from the tip of its tail all the way to
Oh my
its
God,
fingers
bro.
and sharp spikes. Andrew, stick your finger out there. Tell me what that's like. Wow, it's like prickers. It's literally as sharp as the thorns on a rose. Just because it has these defense mechanisms doesn't mean that this lizard doesn't have any predators. There are animals out here that would make a meal out of a thorny devil, including species of hawks and, of course, the predatory goannas, the giant monitors that live in this country. So that's where this animal will rely on its superior camouflage to blend into its environment, to not give its location away. It also has another unique defense mechanism. You see those two horns right at the neck? That is a false head. And in a defense situation, the thorny devil will tuck in its head,
Ooh,
offer
keeps
up
moving.
that false head to any would-be predator so it has a chance to escape if attacked. So let's see if we can actually get it to do that. Offering that false head up. That is a great display. All right, let's pick it back up.
Oh my God.
Gosh, those spikes are sharp. Ah! Oh, do you see him right there trying to horn me?
Oh!
Ah. Okay,
Oh,
okay,
stop
okay.
moving, bitch.
Let's calm down. Let's calm down. I thought we had an agreement. We were gonna do this scene, and I was gonna put you back, trying to show everybody how cool you are. There we go. If you ever want to see one in person, you have to come here to one of its native ranges. Right now we are in Western Australia, but the range extends all the way to the center of the continent. But it lives in this specialized desert terrain,
What if you,
feeding on
like,
ants of a
step on
particular
one of them
variety.
bitches, bro?
Now, when I say feeding on ants, I should say feasting on ants. This little lizard has the ability to eat up to 3,000 ants a day. It will eat up to 1,000 ants in a single meal. And because of that, it actually is said that they are super intelligent. They have the ability to track through their environment to locate different colonies of ants, and they make sure that they don't overpredate any specific colony. They want to be able to come back to the food line to get another meal when they need it. These animals all have a very unique color pattern. You see
Sorry about the lag. I'm doing
underneath
some
there?
shit.
The patterning on the belly is like an individualized fingerprint for these lizards. So scientists will actually take photographs of the underside of a thorny devil so they can study the populations in any given area. And this one is super cool. It's very reticulated, almost like tiger stripes. It's 2024, and like many of you, I have some personal goals I want to achieve this year. One of them is to focus on my emotional wellness. That's why today's sponsor is BetterHelp for this adventure. I'm someone who needs to be outside and active to feel good, and let's be honest,
it ain't like
that's
I
not
do
always
that.
possible.
Let me
Feeling our best
go
can be a
back.
real challenge in the fast-paced world we live in, especially during the winter months when it's cold and gets dark early. BetterHelp is a great resource for all types of needs, and it's easily accessible online at betterhelp.com/bravewilderness, which will get you 10% off your first month. BetterHelp lets you have messaging, whatever's most comfortable. And with over 30,000 therapists in their network, there's bound to be an option that's right for you. So if getting outside or
Go
your
ahead, look at
favorite
that, bro.
stress-relieving activities aren't available and you're feeling a little down this new year, join the over 4 million people who've used BetterHelp to start living a happier and healthier life by clicking the link in the description or visiting betterhelp.com/bravewilderness.
That nigga gotta
So
have
sharp.
PTSD though.
Hang on.
Getting bit by all the motherfucking animals, bro.
In addition to being super spiky, it has another very unique mechanism that has developed for life out here in the desert, and that's the ability to drink using its feet. Now, I've heard that if you actually pour water out and place a thorny devil in a small puddle, you can witness this happening. So we are going to try to demonstrate that for you right now. I've got a little water here. All right, let's see. Look at that. See all that moisture? Definitely have water coming up the back. I can see it on the neck. It's probably hydrating its eyes. And if we stay here long enough, it would actually be able to siphon some of that water into its mouth.
That is insane.
But that is
bro.
so cool. So those scales are adapted to be able to suck up moisture from the ground to keep this lizard hydrated. It's hard to believe, even holding it here in my hand, seeing it move, seeing it look at me, I'm almost in disbelief that this is even a real living thing.
It's like a
And for those of
Digimon.
you who've been watching to see if the thorny devil is indeed sharp enough to draw blood, well, here you go. I mean, it is spiky. It's like holding the thorns of a rose. So I'm gonna do this delicately. Ready?
Oh! Oh!
Ah, you're spining me! Yep, it's wriggling around, and it's so spiky, but I think
He didn't
the
want to do
verdict
that
is
to
in.
you. He
I
didn't
do
want to
not
do that to
think the
you.
thorny devil is sharp enough
feel
to
like
draw
he didn't
blood.
wanna do
even
that to
though-
you.
Ow, he's spiky.
That's why he's trying to get
Definitely does not
away.
feel good when it tenses up those spines. Ow. From its defense mechanisms and the spines and the false head to even the way that it drinks. How cool was it to come across the real dragon of the outback, the thorny devil?
Holy.
I'm Mark Vins. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure.
Stay wild.
All right, buddy, we're gonna put you back.
Stay wild. He didn't wanna spike you, bro. Damn, that's okay. Oh my God. Yep, there's that one. Pink creature from down under. Okay. Bitten by 3 toxic worms. Bro. You know, chill, G. Yeah, well, we binge watching.
Holy crap. Are you guys rolling? Look at this. That is a cow killer. We literally were out here filming me getting stung by a giant desert hairy scorpion, and we were taking a break, and I came over to this pasture, and I saw this cow killer scurrying around. Oh, they're fast. They're super fast. Ah. Got it. Woo! All right, I think it's my turn to go arm to stinger with one of the most painful stinging insects on the planet, the cow killer of Arizona. Let's go, guys. The cow killer is what the velvet ant is called in the United States because they are often found in cow pastures, and their sting is said to be so horrible that it's painful enough to kill a cow. We don't even have to set up the sting table. It's already set up. Luckily, the sting of that giant desert hairy scorpion wasn't that bad. Oh my God, the venom spray, did you see that? Oh. So, I'm gonna be able to hopefully endure one more before we head home. This is the insect responsible for our most famous viral video ever, with over 83 million views. But I haven't yet taken the sting from this one. Okay, let me get back here. You all right? And not only am I going to attempt this sting test, but I will also be putting the most famous sting in Brave Wilderness history on our brand new and improved Bite Sting Index, where I will rank this sting on intimidation, pain, and aftermath, ranking each from 1 to 10, and then taking the average score to see where the cow killer falls on the official Brave Wilderness PSI. So the first impressions of this cow killer, which is a velvet ant, is that it looks a lot different than the cow killer that stung coyote years ago. It has the exact same patterning and fur, but instead of a red abdomen, it has almost like a burnt orange coloration. And that's the cool thing about velvet ants. They come in a variety of shapes, patterns, and colors. And velvet ant species can be found all over the Americas, but I happen to think the ones here in the southwestern United States are some of the coolest looking of all the species. It's called a velvet ant, but it's not a species of ant at all. In fact, it is a wingless wasp. The males of this species actually have wings and fly around, but they don't have stingers. Only the female velvet ants have stingers, so we know because this one doesn't have wings, it's definitely gonna be able to give me a sting. Now, I have been stung by another species of velvet ant before, the panda ant, where I was the first person to ever document being stung by this species down in Chile. Ah! Ooh, yeah, okay. Definitely took a really good sting and a bite. Ah, I saw a lot of the comments.
Oh my gosh.
People were asking, hey, how does that stack up to the velvet ant in Arizona? And I didn't know because I've never been stung by one. Well, I'm about to find out, and so are all of you. Oh man, the reality of this just set in. I have a sting kill out. I will treat this sting with the sting kill as well. This is not a paid ad. This is just something I'm curious about. Of course, I've got an EpiPen just in case I have any kind of crazy allergic reactions. This is a first aid device that will help me get to emergency medical attention should I need it. Hopefully this is just a lot of pain and we don't have to go down that route. And with that, let's get a look at the stinger of this insect.
Cow killer.
So this is always the tricky part, getting a grip. And they're called the indestructible insect because their exoskeleton, their body, is so strong. It is way stronger than most insects. So I'm not gonna be able to crush it or hurt it whatsoever. Oh, you guys hear that?
If you let that shit go and
I
it
already
get in
heard
your
something that I
ear,
was curious about. These insects have the ability to actually emit a squeak that's called stridulation. It's a warning distress signal, an alarm siren, if you will. And this one, I just heard it. Hear that? You guys hear it? Get your cameras close. You'll be able to hear it. Not quite as noisy as the panda ant, but you can definitely hear
that motherfucker
it.
screaming.
But don't worry, I'm not hurting this insect at all. Now the stinger, look at how long it is. Oh my gosh, look at that stinger.
It's stinging itself.
The stinger of the cow killer is one of the longest stingers of all insects. In fact, to the body size ratio, it has the longest stinger of any stinging insect on the planet. Wow. And because this one is bigger, that stinger is much larger than the panda ant I was stung by in Chile.
And the panda ant.
Wow,
The panda
that
ant.
stinger is seriously large. Okay,
The panda
I think
ant.
it is time to test out the sting of this fuzzy little insect. Are you guys ready?
We're ready.
Okay, first thing I want to do is I want to attempt to let the cow killer sting me on its own. In order to do that, we're going to put it back in the container, and I'm going to just place it
Oh my God.
right on the usual
Oh my
spot.
God. Oh my God.
On 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh boy, I can feel the fuzz. Oh, abdomen's like right against my skin. This is nerve-wracking. I can see the cow killer's trying to get out of the glass. Just as I thought, not gonna sting on its own. Here we go, I'm gonna flip it over. Woo! All right, hang on. Whew, that'll get your nerves going.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right. So, you don't really need to worry about taking a sting from this insect unless you really antagonize it by trying to grab it or hold it with a pair of forceps and let it sting you that way, which is what I'm about to do next, because I'm very curious how it stacks up to the velvet ants of South America. Moment's setting in that I'm actually gonna take a sting. All right, let's get a good grip. Just gonna get it right on the back there. There we go. Okay,
What if
it's
it
getting
like
warm. She's getting fired up.
stings
You can see
itself
where
and
I had the glass
like,
placed
it
earlier.
does.
Proved that she wasn't gonna sting me on her own, but she's definitely gonna sting me now. That stinger is firing. You guys got your shot? I'm gonna do it right in the center of that sting zone. All right. I'm Mark Vins, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with the velvet ant, the cow killer of the Southwest. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah, she's biting me. Nothing yet.
Oh my God, it's so long.
I got that stinger. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Oh. Whoa. Way. Oh.
You doing it again?
Yeah. Stinger's in. Wow. Yeah, that is way worse than the panda ant. Way worse.
What's it feel like, Mark?
Oh, it burns. It really burns. Here, I'm gonna put her back. Yeah, that burns. That definitely burns. She nailed me right there. See that? See that red spot? Oh man, that is gonna swell. That is searing pain. Way worse than the panda ant. Like times 10 worse. That is a for real sting. Holy moly. Whew, yeah, that's one of the better ones I've taken. It is, oh, hang on. Wow, I got hit 3 times. 1, 2, 3, the worst one being right there in the middle. And I felt that stinger go all the way in. I mean, probably like at least a 1/4 inch underneath the skin. You can see that there's a little bit of a blood spot, a little bit of redness there from like some hemorrhaging
my
underneath
gosh.
the skin. But you can really see the blotchiness starting to go. I can already tell you right now, the swelling from this tomorrow is going to be so much worse than it is right now. But right now I'm feeling the effects of the venom, the pain. And it is time for me, I think, to get a little bit of sting kill on this sting. Let's go. Hopefully help cool down the burn I'm feeling on my skin. Oh yeah, that's like a dull pain. Cool relief though. Yeah, this sting is way more powerful than the panda ant. I don't know if it's a size thing or if it's just generally the Southwest velvet ants, the cow killers, are just that much more painful. But that was a wallop. I'm glad to have a little something to help put out the burn from that pain. I can tell you right now, though, tomorrow is going to be the worst day of this. We're going to have to monitor this thing for the next 24 to 48 hours. I am by no means out of the woods. And now it's time to break down this sting and give the cow killer its official ranking on the Bite Sting Index. For intimidation, I give the cow killer a 7.5 out of 10. Even though they are fuzzy and colorful, once you see that stinger all the way out, all bets are off, and you know it means business. As for pain, I was super shocked by this one because I thought it would be at least similar to the panda ant. I was definitely wrong. It was many times worse, so I give it an 8 out of 10. Lastly, the aftermath. The swelling and the pain spiked big time in the hours following the sting and well into the next day. While it is by no means a bullet ant, it definitely hurts for a good long while, and I would say the aftermath is much worse than the sting itself, giving it an 8.5 out of 10. That total score gives the cow killer an official BSI rating of an 8. That is the highest ranking so far, and a lot of bang pow for such a tiny creature. Tell me in the comments which insects you want to see ranked next.
Holy.